Hello, everyone. I'm Phalanges.
And I'm awake. I'm awake. It's 6 a.m. and I'm not up for golf. This is weird.
This is the MouseCast podcast for the week of, well, it's not Friday, it's Saturday. We're releasing a little bit late because we have a special guest this week.
Hmm.
EloShapes is making a guest appearance. We're going to be doing a little interview that you'll see. But for news this week, how about we have this mouse right here, Zywoo the Chosen X from Pulsar, a new Ergo?
And Steelseries finally released a bunch of different pads with a speed variant that reviewers are speaking very highly of, and I'll have to try out someday.
Oh yeah. So subscribe. We do this every week. If you like this kind of a thing, we have a Discord link in the description below. So Daz, what's on your desk right now?
I've got the XL Purple Infinite Speed out because I was messing around in Kovacs, and then I've got my RMA of the XM2W in not
Oh,
just the normal white, so it's built like a tank, which you'd expect from in-game gear.
wonderful. So that
You know,
took 3 weeks to arm roughly?
took a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I've got Deluxe M900 Mini. This is actually kind of somewhat interesting in red. I do really like this mouse.
I get the white one.
And I got a pad that was lost in the mail for over a month. Artisan Heian Wine Red Mid XXL. So I'm gonna sell my other Artisan because XXL or bust. Okay, first topic. Pulsar FCC leak Pulsar Zywoo the Chosen X. This is actually posted by me. We can go through some pictures here, but we can see it's clearly an Ergo. Do we know specs? I think we actually do know specs. So, um, specs are
Yeah.
we're doing their
Classic Ergo can't be light. Oh man.
yeah, XS1 sensor, which is their 3950. This is actually using Huano. We'll see them. It's using Huano transparent white, blue shell pink dots. Interestingly, on these ribbon cables,
Hmm.
um, 300 milliamp hour battery. Okay, there's dimensions. There's going to be a medium and a mini size. That's pretty exciting. So I'll keep going through pictures here. So the shape, let's talk about the shape first. Right? It's an ergo with that classic Pulsar scroll wheel gap. I don't know why they
Oh
keep doing
man.
that. It looks
Yeah.
so bad. Um, it's very bulbous. You mentioned like
It
a
looks bulbous,
thorn.
yeah, like a
This
thorn
looks
almost.
very thorn.
Is the click height low?
Maybe
It looks like it really tapers down there, almost like an M8.
it does. Now the top is interesting. You know what this reminds me of? Um, another thumbnail.
Again, yeah.
Zidley ZGM03. Or also the ZGM05? Yeah. Reminds me of this mouse, which I have one. Which
Mm,
is also the ShortCircuit SM805. Yeah. From the top, it looks, well, whatever. Um, yeah, it does look unique for an Ergo, doesn't it? And
I'm
the
trying to
dim
make sure it's not Dex-like. I don't think it is. No,
no, and the
not quite.
dimensions are pretty interesting too. It's rather short. Oh wait, I want to go back to the bottom though, bro. Look at that bottom.
Some
Look
fat skates.
fat skates on that there bottom. Couple things I wanted to point out. First of all, this looks very Vaxy to me. I don't know if it's just that front GPX Vaxy-ish skate, but this looks NPO1, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. What is it, like
Huge
a screen almost?
power button. No, I think this is just the logo that's kind of goobered.
No, below the top skate.
Oh, no, that's where the label goes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this
Okay.
label.
FCC.
And check out these two screw holes here. So, my theory, those two
Mm,
screw holes, you can see the Phillips head right there, combined with these switches. Hot swap like endgame gear. Hot swap, you replace the whole
mm,
like switch PCB module. That's my
yeah.
guess. Yeah. Again, another kind of Vaxy type of thing, how they do separate clicks. So Pulsar is doing some new stuff here. This pink accent's kind of cool. I was wondering what that was, but it's just an accent piece. This is your DPI LED. Anything else here? Uses the same dongle. I think that's it. So what else did I have to say here? Pro Series maybe? Like the PRX something pad collab? Because this clearly says
Oh
Zywoo
yeah.
on here. I know people were talking, how is Zywoo doing? Is he still one of the best CS players? He is still one of the best top three, maybe top one. Right now, the consensus is Dunk is number one, but Zywoo could overtake him if Vitality keeps form.
Hmm.
Okay, I don't follow esports that much, but
Me either. Not these days.
yeah. All right. Well, this is pretty cool. I am not going to instant buy one, but it is cool to see a new shape from Pulsar because they have been X-Elite V4 is the same shape as the V3. Pulse X2H, X2, all those, the V3s, same shape as the last one. Not saying that's bad, but I wonder how many friggin' colorways they're gonna do for this shape.
Will there be an ES version? Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, let's say what's your interest level?
I'll pick it up, but I mean, I play worse with Ergos, so I'm
Yeah.
not her main one, but I'd
Yeah.
review it.
One
Assuming I won't get a copy though, so everybody will already have posted their review.
I know,
Anyway,
right? One thing that I don't know, I can't zoom in anymore. Cool. Let's like, can I open in a new tab? Cool. All right. One thing I'm curious about is this bar thing here. So the screw holes to open up the mouse are here and here, and we can tell that those are the only screws holding it in because there's no other, see these standoffs? There's nothing here. So that hot swap I do think is true, even though the
I
user
think
manual didn't say anything about it.
those screws in the bottom that are exposed, not under the skates, are what you open the mouse with.
Right.
Revolutionary.
Uh,
Shocking.
I don't know what this steel bar is here. That might be a rigidity thing, like so that there's no bottom
Oh,
flex.
yeah.
Um, Pulsar does make pretty solid. People have complained about Pulsar QC. I've had problems with their clicks because they use that stupid like foam sponge stuff. But in terms of like build integrity, they act their weight, I guess. And then last thing
Exactly.
I want to mention, they did have a user manual, and it didn't say anything about hot swap. It does have 10 DPI granular adjustment, which is kind of cool. 2-year warranty.
The
Okay.
3950 Max or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is that? I thought. Okay. Maybe that is typical. All right. Yep. FCC leaks, guys. They're kind of fun. I always check every week or so. Moving right along to how about this new, another new mouse from another big company,
Ah,
Logitech
yes, the
Pro
stupid edition.
Stupid Edition. I think we
Mm,
mentioned this last week.
yeah.
0 grams Hero 2, 0K. Yep. So it looks exactly the same. Hero 2 sensor, 60 grams, 88 hours. So this is looking exactly the same as the Superlight 2. So what did people have to say on this? 51 upvotes. They're seriously releasing the Superlight exactly the same 3X. Yep.
Yeah, this is the GTA 5 of mice.
Yeah, G Pro Wireless was the original. That came out in 2018. 7 years on the same shape, dude. Um, OP says sold in Taobao in China. 8K polling rate available. Source, it's a Bilibili video. Same size, sensor, and switches. Polling rate is only 1 kilohertz. That's the difference. And then I think I asked on price, and he said about $97 because China has a way of taking pre-sales. So I think the above price is a rough estimate. So if we take that as an MSRP, $97 versus what did the G Pro 2 Superlight launch at? 159?
So does this just replace the GPX2 if you buy a separate nozzle? Is it just cheaper? There's got to be a difference.
There
It's a
might
little bit
be a
heavier.
controller difference. Let's assume that there is a hardware difference.
Yeah.
So then MSRP of the Superlight 2 was 160. This is $97. If there's a $60 upcharge for 4K, 8K hertz polling, that's insane. What have we
Oh,
seen with
GPX2 is 60. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
160? Yeah. So,
No, 60 grams, same weight.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you look up what the MSRP is? And then also what it's selling for on Amazon?
Yeah.
Because I can't believe a $60 price difference.
It is
That's
160. Yeah.
160 MSRP. And if this launches at $100, $60, dude, for I can't believe it.
Whoa. The
What's it
black
going?
GPX2 is $102 on Amazon right now.
Okay. So street
The
pricing has
white's
come
140,
right.
but
Street pricing has come down a bit. And it's only been out for like 6 months or so, right? 8 months.
yeah.
So I don't know. I think this makes a lot of sense, but I think it should have launched earlier.
This is
Because
good for like the Best Buy buyer when they carry it because they're gonna sell the GPX2 at full price.
yeah,
Yeah.
because people, mainstream buyers, dude, they're not going to spend a $60 upcharge. This is why you launch the flagship first, though. You know people aren't going to spend a $60 upcharge for friggin' 8K. We know that 8K dongles go for between $10 and $30. And I would not. I had no interest in the GPX2 at $160. Yeah. I wonder what
No.
street pricing will
No.
be. I think that's the most interesting takeaway here. If street pricing for this is like 60, $70, that puts a lot of pressure on all these budget Chinese companies because now you're throwing this directly against things like Cyrox, ATK, you know,
Yeah.
M
Whereas
chose
you can
wrong.
like you can argue away the GPX one, I guess, because it's polling rate limited and this is not.
Yeah,
It's the older sensor, which is fine. Good.
yeah,
This used competes directly with the GPX one used. So
yeah.
all those drop to like 50 or 60 sometimes.
All right. Let's say you saw one of these go on Mouse Market tomorrow for $40. So basically GPX1 pricing. Are you picking one up?
If nobody else has reviewed it, sure. But I don't see why I would otherwise, because I have a pink GPX too.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
That's why
weird. Yeah.
launch with
Yeah.
the flagship. Every tech product is that way. Launch with the flagship, get the enthusiasts to open up their wallets, and then follow up with the cheaper one.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Next topic. WLMouse Fabulous Beast
Oh,
Miao.
stupidest name I've ever heard in my life.
So if you
Say
guys
it again.
remember, this was the one with the cringy AI cat woman video.
I think WLMouse masqueraded as a legitimate company for like 5 months, and now they're showing. True.
They're their true colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they are a
Uh,
Chinese company. Bro, solid bottom shell. What is this? Also, like solid sides? Somewhat?
does my mouse
Uh-huh.
meow when I get a kill? Like, what happens here?
Ooh. So,
Is the
wait,
dongle a furry?
here's the specs. They did have the cat. Wait, we should have seen this coming. They've had the cat dongle this whole time. Look at
From the mini?
the
Yeah,
cat mini dongle. 899 yuan. Can you look up what that is in USD? I'm gonna
five
guess.
dollars.
I'm gonna guess like 110. I don't know.
Real 129. 124.
Okay. Okay, so it's I think the other mice have launched around that too. Here's the um options. TTC or Omron opticals 3950. It's what we've all come to expect. 1K, 8K, wireless, or wired and wireless. Oh, do they have a release date here?
Strider's 145. Ying is
Strider's
180.
145.
We need that though. It's the Ying 63 keyboard. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do, sorry, bear with me, guys. I'm gonna do a quick Google Translate to see if I can. April 1st at 3 p.m. is their release date.
This is just all an elaborate April Fool's joke. That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, well, um, okay, well, okay. Is it, how is it dimensionally? Is that bigger than like some of the other? Is that bigger? Let's check Elo shapes.
I have an X2F here, but I don't know what the size is.
X2F coming soon. Okay, we'll do HSK. We'll do HSK Pro Ace, sure. So that's a rather small one.
Well, that's so big.
73, 56, 29.
What the Keychron
Way bigger.
M4?
Keychron M4 is like really small too. I think this is going to be more like HSK plus size. 89, 59,
Yeah.
36.
Yeah, maybe more or less, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a bigger fingertip, which I'm down with. I know like the Darmoshark M5. The Darmoshark M5 is a little bit interesting to me. This is very similar
That was
dimensioning.
very similar.
Yeah,
Well,
cool. Well, I'm glad to see they're doing solid buttons. Uh, there's cat ears on the buttons too, if you can. Hmm,
Mm,
you can
mm.
sort of see them here. Cat ears. You can get dual cat dongles. I do appreciate the dual dongles. Keep one at home, keep one at work or something, or if you have two computers like you do. Okay.
WLMouse, meow,
The real
ooh.
question is, Daz, which cat are you getting?
Oh my God. The middle one.
The black?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the black and red.
I agree. I would go for that
The
one. Maybe the fade blue and
But they're also faded. If they were vibrant, sure.
yeah, yeah, very pastel.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well,
Meow.
let's see if there's any interesting comments here. It's a good shape. I like fingertip mice maybe. Just came in. Oh yeah, I love how WLMouse just came into the industry and dunked on everyone. They aren't perfect, but at least they're bringing us things we want. Dude, I was going back to old WLMouse posts from 2023. The whale, your Laonda pads that you love,
Yeah.
he ranted on Twitter about how WLMouse is a hoax, it's a scam, and everyone pushing the brand are scammers. This is around the time where they teased the original Beast X as a Final
Yeah.
Mouse competitor. Everyone was like, yeah, right. No one's ever heard of this company. Like, imagine you'd never heard of this company, and all you see is a post on Mouse Review with pictures of a magnesium mouse undercutting Final Mouse. You're just like, no, that's not going to happen.
That was the reaction to the Spry and PM one as well.
Oh, really? That it was fake
People like thought
news?
it was a scam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whale doesn't have
He has
not.
opinions.
Yeah. People have opinions on him. So.
A very confident stance behind whatever they might be. All right, next topic. Yeah, I'd go for the black too. That actually is pretty good. The pink here is a bit more vibrant.
The battery color, the battery cover coloration is cool.
Yeah. All right, Artisan released dots. This is crazy, brother.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
crazy in terms of like Artisan releasing a new product. I don't think I know anything about them. I don't know how much
I
money
know
that is.
Visco swears by them, so she's been using them for a while, and they're her favorite skates, bar none. Uh, they're not cheap to begin with, and then like getting them over to the Western world is like impossible without paying a bunch of shipping at the moment, from what I've read. So
Yeah.
like you could pick it up if you're buying an Artisan Direct pad, I guess, is the current thing. Maybe they're like JP, whatever, like Artisan JP, whatever that store is,
Mm-hmm.
like American side retailer will get it, and then it'll be more. There's Visco's thoughts.
Oh, I don't know.
Cool, thanks, Elon. Um,
Yeah. Just to be, well, I'm glad this person summarized. Differently shaped than other dot skates. Wait, can we corroborate that?
maybe the like concavity of it or
They
something.
look very thin. Like you can see through them a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, so different shape. Okay. Lower static friction. Good balance between static and dynamic friction. And then cons are expensive, cloth pads only. Lower static friction can be difficult to get used to. Almost like glass skates. Glass
Hmm.
skates can be really low static depending on the pad you
They're
use.
super high dynamic though.
So, I did want, so the price in USD is $13 for 16 of them. So that's almost $1 a piece before importing.
That's crazy.
Here's her picture. Yeah, they look very nicely rounded. Also a little
Hmm.
bit bigger.
They do look
Um,
bigger.
yeah. And I wanted to show, so Duracon POM, single-sided adhesive, circular, okay. So I wanted to look up, well, first of all, let's do an image translate on this like very poorly cropped image. Image translate, Google images, paste. All right. Multi-curve shape reduces resistance. Okay, so it's curved. Made of Duracon POM, a resin material that glides smoothly and is more resistant to wear than Teflon. Round shape with minimal difference in friction depending on direction. Okay. Please, this product will wear out over time. Please replace. Okay, regularly. So POM, Duracon POM. Let's just quickly Google this. Duracon POM. I know POM is like in cheap airsoft gearboxes, they would use POM gears instead of metal ones. This company, Duracon, it's a trademark name. A well-balanced mechanical properties of POM include self-lubrication with oil resistance. Yes. So think, you know how Teflon almost has an oily feeling to it?
Yeah.
This is the same way. First used commercially to replace machine components such as gears, screws, bearings, which were previously made of steel. Wide range of applications such as zippers, toothbrushes, door locks, seat belts. Yeah, so it's designed for things that are moving parts, which is very good. Um, so I don't really think I have anything else to say.
I don't know
Uh,
how or when I would ever use them, just because of their availability. But
yeah,
oh wait, what's the Artisan JP link down there?
yeah, I'll check that out. She does say, I think their standout feature is the round. We'll come back to that. You had thoughts. I wonder what this
Oh, that's just
means.
the actual link. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
what the shipping ends up to. If you want to just buy them straight up.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to input my address. uh, let's try another translate. I don't know if this means anything. No. Mizugumo Futae P8.
Fugazi.
So she says, I think their standout feature is the rounding. Oh gosh, dang it.
What is xcancel.com?
Who knows?
Is that
Most skates
reproducing
have
like
some
short Twitter?
rounding towards the edges, but the edges on these are round all the way towards the center. Not quite to a point, but pretty close. Okay, almost like a contact lens. Yeah.
Hmm.
This creates glide that feels way more consistent than any other skate. Okay, I do appreciate that she's bringing light to this difference. This isn't anything revolutionary. I've gotten cheap skates from AliExpress that are totally rounded concave like that. They'll be
Hmm.
much smaller. Um, yeah, I don't know. That might so the heavier rounding might be good if you press into the pad a lot more, because then as it sinks in, you still get a really nice curvature. Okay, let's go to the next. Well, did you have anything else to add to this?
Nah.
Okay.
They look really satisfying to use, so maybe I'll come across them someday.
They do. I'm glad that they're a bigger dot skate too. I'm sick of all the 6 millimeter dots. Give us some 8,
Yeah.
10 millimeter dots. Heck, give us some like 15 millimeter dots.
Core, I see if you buy the core pads dots, they do have ones that are pretty big like that, and then they get
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah.
But they also have super tiny ones, which why?
X-ray pads the same way, which might
Yeah.
very well just be the OEM for them. Okay. Next topic. Ooh, this is a big one. SteelSeries Performance pads. Okay, Daz, introduce us to this.
When I saw these, I was just like, oh, great, three more crappy pads. And it sounds like there isn't too much standout about balance in the control. I'd have to try them. Might be personal preference. But Boardsy and others have spoken very highly of the speed pad, almost Raiden-like. And the cool thing is that it's easily available on Amazon already for $40 in the standard sizing. And they do have an XL sizing as well. So SteelSeries, they must have hired someone or they just listened to the community, gave them what they wanted. Like this is massive for the average gamer, I feel like.
Yeah. So, again, they gave us three speeds: speed, balance, and control. Let's go back here. The sizes available are 490 by 420 and 900 by 400, so a desk pad size. Three different unique surfaces. They're not anything, like you said, they're nothing revolutionary,
Yeah.
but SteelSeries is coming into the, I guess what we would call like
Enthusiast.
current, yeah, enthusiast, thank you.
Yeah.
So the speed one sounds like it's a spandex pad. It's compared to the Raiden. The balance pad, I don't know. He said that the balance and the control are both kind of rough,
Yeah,
right?
almost like a heel like texture on the control pad was an interesting choice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't know too much about the balance. I know Boardsy skipped over it the fastest, and he's the only review I watched. They advertised low profile stitching. They put their old mouse from that's really old on there. Um, it is cool that like when they launched this, they already had product videos, they had the product page, they had availability on Amazon, like you said.
Yeah,
So
it's like a big company launch. Yeah.
yeah. Boardsy's actually I won't watch Boardsy's video. Although the intro picture he had there, we'll keep playing this.
I apologize to Boardsy. People keep commenting on the video of mine he commented on, and bugging him to review the IPI float now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean it's a budget banger,
Which he got
so
one.
oh
He
good.
tweeted out that he got one. So
So they're showing different games on different pads, I guess.
oh,
And
the saturation's high on that. Wow.
Yeah, extra density,
I
extra do we know the firmness? Hang, hold
don't
up.
recall.
What was extra density,
It was like
extra
a rubber base, I thought, right?
QcK Performance? It looks denser.
Yeah, it
They
does.
did say extra density, so I guess it is more of a firm. This also could be deceptive marketing, though.
I'm not
Who
gonna lie, I
knows?
almost bought one.
Oh, yeah,
But
okay. That's there you go. It is more firm. That's nice to see it's more firm. I like firm bases. Give me that
I don't
firm
care if the base is
base.
rubber, the mouse pad can perform just fine.
Lol. Was that it? Is this an Artisan? Neoprene rubber base that they covered up. Is that an Artisan?
It might be.
Huh. So this is the speed pad. You can tell immediately this is a spandex weave. See how like
Hmm.
consistent it is. Yeah, the stitching looks decent. The QcK is like very famously an unstitched edge pad, and they just disintegrate over time, but people still use them. I don't know, the QcK, I have never been impressed. People talk about it, but to me it's just a mouse pad. I mean,
Yeah, it's all it is, yeah.
it's not trash, but in 2025 it's kind of trash. Yeah. So, yeah, fantastic website at least. Again, there's the size that we talked about. So my take on this was Borgi said the QcK balance is Saturn Pro firmness. Their speed pad is like a Raiden or Energon. He said it was very smooth like an Energon. And the control
Hmm.
is like an Aqua control. Okay, that makes sense. Me, I'm a fan of this. I think they're all different surfaces from QcK, which I always thought was the most. The QcK is like the most boring commodity pad, basically like a glorious XXL.
It might be one of the best selling mouse pads of all time in reality.
Yeah, which is, but now that we're in the modern age, I think this is gonna blow people's minds that you can go to Best Buy, pick up something from SteelSeries, and have three different gliding experiences. People just think a mouse pad's a mouse pad. This is, yeah, even though this is like nothing special in 2025, even the pricing isn't that special. $40 for the large, and the desk pad is $50. Nothing special at all. Boutique mouse pads are this pricing. Um,
Hmm.
you're going to be available everywhere. You're going to be available in Best Buy. So mainstreamers are going to go there and actually have an option, actually have three options. These are bar none going to be the best options in like a Best Buy type of
Oh
store.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I also appreciate the minimal aesthetics. Super cool. I love the tag, the different colored tags. I could see that like bothering some people, but maybe you can
Yeah.
snip it off. And the best thing of all, I love the naming. Okay, can we just take a moment to appreciate balance, speed, control? You don't have to decode it into, name them after penguin, flamingo, walrus, and then you have to figure out which, oh, the walrus is a speed one? I wouldn't have guessed. I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's truly shocking, honestly.
All right. And next thing is an ad, I guess. The angry Miao mouse that we
Yeah.
teased. This was a Kickstarter. Remember the G Pro wireless that was made out of like clay or whatever? Then they made it magnesium because they thought it was like the
Hmm.
perfect shape. Well, this YouTube channel, ShortCircuit, reviewed it. Um, 2.4 million subscribers. So ShortCircuit is part of like the Linus Media Group, Linus Tech Tips channel page. Their mouse guru is David here. He's a fine host. He is not a mouse enthusiast like the rest of
Mm.
r/mouse review is. So his review is very superficial. Very, very superficial. But at least it's a real product, I guess. And they sent it out to a huge review channel. I do wonder what the comments here are. Oh, they did argue okay. Remember the infinite battery thing that they advertised?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not light speed wireless mouse pad charging. It's hot swap batteries. That's it. That's your
What?
infinite battery life. Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to okay, yeah, I don't think I can find it. Well, one thing cool, maybe if we go back to the unboxing, the dongle is also the charging dock for the batteries. So that's actually kind of nice. It's one
Yeah.
one unit. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't asking for my mouse to have multiple batteries though, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I know the iRock HE3 mouse does this. And so does Repu? Maybe not. They have a little cartridge. But it adds
Oh
weight.
yeah.
This is like a 300 milliamp hour battery, but it weighs like a 500 milliamp hour.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not too interested. Um,
It's a unique design, that's for sure.
yeah, part of me wants to be happy because magnesium going to the mainstream, but I also don't really care because magnesium is so 2023. I
I
don't know.
don't I don't see myself trying this mouse.
Yeah. The aesthetics remind me a lot of the Gravistar Mercury mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's something unique like the low free height base, I guess.
Yeah.
I have on the way.
Nice. Elo, the man himself of EloShapes.com. Um, do you want to go ahead and I don't know, do you have like an introduction that you want to say?
Uh, yeah, I think you said it pretty good. My name is Elo, or that's what I usually go by online. My real name is Ole Christian, which is a bit hard to say in English because I'm from Norway.
Yep.
Yeah. So I usually just go by Elo, which is the first part of my name, just spelled backwards. That sounds kind of cool.
Oh, okay. That was actually going to be like our first question, which is how did it start and slash how did you choose the name Elo Shapes? Because I thought
So
Elo like like chess, Elo
Elo
ranking
rating,
system. And yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So yeah, that's just the first part of my name spelled backwards, and then shapes was just like I needed something, mouse shapes. That's what EloShapes is about. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's clean.
perfect.
Okay, so I mean, how did this whole project start?
well, it started like the first. I don't know like where to start because it all began when Gear Search. Did you use that website? Have you heard of it?
Gear search? No.
Gear Search. See if it's Gear Search, and then yeah,
Gearsearch.gg?
if you go to the first link there, or maybe you go images and then you can see what it looked like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty
Oh,
similar to EloShapes. So this one, EloShapes isn't like a completely original idea. So this website, I used that a lot. Like I was after I finished high school, I had a gap year, so I was just playing games and then looking at gaming mice, and then I found this website and started using it a ton. But it went offline. I think if you go just search gear search, and then the first Reddit link just shows like someone saying is gear search offline.
yeah. That was his
Yeah, the first one.
gearsearch.gg gone.
4 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah. And that made me pretty sad because I was using it like 4 or 5 times a day. I was using it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually wrote a comment. I think you can go back to the is gear search gone? If you scroll down a bit. Yeah, that's me.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
same for me. 4 years ago.
uh, yeah. So back then I didn't know anything about websites or anything, but I knew that I was using that website so much, and I was very sad that it went offline. So I thought, maybe I could make it myself, because I knew I wanted to study computer science. And then I actually looked into like how do you build a website, and I was like, okay, this is way too hard. I'm not going to do that right now. So I just started making some drawings. I have
Okay.
those somewhere. Maybe I can find them, and you can show them on the video or something. I don't know if I still
That'd
have
be
them.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, I did pretty much just had like ideas thinking about how would I make a similar website. And then I started studying in August 2021. Yeah. So that's when I decided I want to actually do something about the idea and make EloShapes a real thing. So I started with making like just a template website, and then I spent like a week making a navigation bar. The
Mm-hmm.
top
Oh, for
bar
sure.
that
Yeah.
like have links. Yeah, and I spent like a week setting up that.
Mm-hmm.
Like not that one, but a very basic one with like 3 links, and that took me a week. So and then I
As a
looked at
computer
it.
science major, I feel your pain there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I spent like 2 full days just making a like settings icon and making it rotate. Didn't look good, but it took 2 days to make that work.
Uh-huh.
So I knew like pretty early that it was going to be a bit harder than what I first anticipated. So I just kind of put it on hold during my first semester. And then when second semester started, I was like, okay, we learned some stuff about websites at school, so now I'm going to actually make it. And then I found like it was actually going to be more complicated than that. So I put it on hold a little bit longer. And I kind of realized that if I actually want to make the website, I couldn't just wait for school to teach me everything. So I had to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started slowly working on it. But still, at the time, I didn't know much about websites. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
took a long time.
Yeah, I mean it's a fantastic tool. It's and I think maybe because it's very clean. The GUI is very clean. It's very simple to use. Maybe I don't know if that was your intention all along or if that just stemmed from the fact that you were learning as you went, but tools like Ratings has their 3D tool, ratings,
Mm.
mouse, 3D comparison. But I never use it. Well, one, because you're way more up to date on new releases. And that's like what mainly people care about. Oh, well, what shape is it? What's the size? And two,
Mm.
it's just not as, I don't know, EloShapes, there's something charming about the simplicity, maybe?
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I still like Artings a lot. Like I took inspiration from that when I was doing EloShapes, because
Okay.
that was a thing when I started working on EloShapes. So add that and gear search, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I have a big focus on like making things as like simple and clean as possible. Not that I think Arting is ratings. Is that how you say it? It's pretty clean.
Yeah. I saw they
But
actually do call it ratings officially,
right,
even though
yeah.
it's not spelled. Yeah.
I've been calling it Artings for years. My bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it also kind of stems from EloShapes being like it's outlines of a mouse, so it's a lot more simple than other
Mm-hmm.
websites, I think, in terms of like core functionality.
Yeah. I mean, they
Uh,
have a nice 3D scanner for all of this, but I know,
mm,
Daz, you had a question about.
Yeah, I was wondering if you ever plan to move into 3D models or not on EloShapes.
I do want to, and there are some stuff I'm not sure I can talk about,
Yeah, don't.
but yeah, yeah, I really want to do 3D models at some point, but the problem right now is getting my hands on a like quality 3D scanner. Uh, I haven't looked like too much into it, but based on my like small research, it's I think 3D scanning machines cost quite a lot of money, especially because they're not very available in Norway. So I would have to import it, which is going to cost a lot with taxes and all that stuff. So yeah, I really want to do it at some point, but right now I have some other stuff I'm working on.
Okay. What about like what's your collection like? I mean, you probably yeah, I don't think you own all 900 that are on your website, right?
No, I don't. I don't know exactly how many I have. I think like I made a small like counting. I think it's somewhere between 50 and 70.
Okay. That's
So
quite
pretty good.
respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly how many.
I know some
And then
people
I have
post like I saw a post on the subreddit this week that was like, "Oh my gosh, I have a problem," and they have like 15 mice on their
five.
desk, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
You have no
yeah.
clue, man.
I remember when I first joined the r slash mousereview subreddit, because I was planning on buying a PC, so I have to find like information about what mouse am I gonna buy. And I remember that was when the G Pro Wireless launched.
Hmm.
And so every single post was just, I received my G Pro Wireless. And I was like, who the, yeah, I can swear, who spends $150 on a mouse? And that was insane to me.
Hmm.
I could not believe that anyone would spend that much money when you could get a mouse for like $20, $30.
Hmm.
So that was pretty insane to me. But now, like, my collection is, yeah, a bit more expensive than that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt the same. For the longest time, if I went over 10 mice, I felt bad. And I would just mass post to Mouse Market just to sell them all. But now it's escalated. So
Yeah, I know. And Daz and I both have one of those classroom organizers for carrying all of our mice.
Those IKEA thing.
Not quite. They're like for calculators.
Oh.
It'll be like 36 pot. Yeah, like
Yeah,
this.
like
Oh,
Cloth.
those.
And
Okay.
I
mine's
was
full now.
I filled one and I was like, okay, that's my limit. I'm just gonna fill one, and I'm staring currently at 3, all
Oh.
full.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what games do you play?
I only play shooters. So right now just Marvel
Same.
Rivals really.
Okay.
But I often go back to, if I get tired of whatever game I'm playing, I usually go back to Titanfall 2. That's
Oh,
like
Titanfall. Okay.
my
Ooh, I love that game.
main game.
Yeah.
People said the
I
campaign
wish
was
that had
really
gotten more popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I love that game so much. I hope they make a Titanfall 3, but I don't know if it's gonna be like as good.
Yeah.
Seeing
Yeah,
as most
Respawn's
people
like
are left.
the OG COD people too, so I really like them. They made my favorite COD games.
Are they Respawn still around though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they make Apex,
Oh,
but since
really?
they're bought by
Yep.
by EA,
Okay.
so it's basically just EA now.
How about do you use EloShapes yourself?
I use it. Like it depends on what you mean, because I use it a lot because I have to test, every mouse that comes out. I have to, whenever I'm doing fixing bugs or making new features, I use it a lot. So I don't use it as much now for comparing mice as I used to, mainly because now I own the mice that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
When I first made EloShapes, I used it like all the time, like as much as I possibly could.
Gotcha.
Even during class and stuff like that, I was just looking at which mouse to buy next. But now that I have so much more mice and I spend so much more actually developing the website, I get to use it like even if I'm not like specifically trying to find a new mice or something like that.
That's
So what
funny.
mouse are you maining right now?
Yeah.
Right now I have the Pulsar X2F, so that's pretty
Oh yeah, me too.
pretty good. You have it as well?
I do, yeah. I'm not a fingertipper either, so it's been quite the experience.
Oh yeah, I
My
use
hand
fingertip
wants to slip
mainly.
into a claw, so it's weird.
OG fingertip user. My first mouse was the D403, but after that I got a Model O minus.
Mm-hmm. A very small, very
Uh,
flat mouse. Yeah,
mm.
the Model O minus.
I still want them to make a V2. They have the wireless version, and they have the what's it
O2
called?
Pro or
O2
something?
Pro 4K, 8K,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But they don't have a mini version of that. They have a
Mm-hmm.
different mini version.
Yeah, the mini version is the glorious with the circular holes. Yeah.
Yeah. But if they make O2
Yeah, the Pro.
Pro minus,
Yeah. It's only
that's
one more.
I'm gonna have to get that because I still love the original, like the Model O minus shape so much.
Okay. Next question. How about highlight? Oh, well, I don't know if this is. Is there a weird or unknown mouse on your website that you would want to bring attention to? Maybe something with just like a crazy outline or something that's surprisingly good that people don't know about.
Wow. I can't really think of one right now because I'm so used to just so many different weird shapes that it kind of depends on who you're asking. If you're asking, I mean, the new G-Wolf mice are
Yeah.
Pretty far
pretty
out there,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, those
I
are wild.
I often show like co-workers or friends when they ask like what is EloShapes? How are people interested in gaming mice? And then I often show them like the Pro X Superlight because most people are familiar with that one.
Yeah.
And I just show them like a small fingertip mouse, and then just like, who would use this?
Yep. Definitely
So yeah.
different from mainstream. Um,
Mm.
So
yeah.
you mentioned coworkers. What do you do for work then? Is it CS based?
Yeah, my main job, I work as a software developer for the Norwegian government, like
Oh,
Oh.
that's awesome.
Norwegian Welfare and Labor Administration.
Oh.
So
That's
that's
cool.
my main job. And then I just
Cool.
work on EloShapes when I get home from work and during weekends.
Yeah, I've been a developer for 10 years and recently just moved into management, so it's been quite the change. So
Oh.
that's really
Yeah, I'm
cool. I
still
wonder how
quite
it
new.
differs in government. I'd be curious to see.
Where is it? Sorry,
Just
is it Norway or Sweden that has the giant Commonwealth Fund?
Norway, I think, or Commonwealth.
Uh,
Also, I'm not used to speaking like English terms, no, Norwegian terms in English. Are you talking about the oil fund?
oh wait, maybe I'm getting too. Yes, I am talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because we have an insane amount of money invested in oil or something like that. I don't fully know how it works, but
Yeah. Well, I just remember watching a YouTube video that, sorry, this is totally off topic, but it was something like the Norwegian Commonwealth Fund. Basically, like, Norway invested heavily in oil and other energy
yeah,
sources because you guys are a very good location for that. You have a lot of offshore oil drilling and such, and wind and hydroelectric energy. So huge investments went into that. Your government paid this back in the 80s, paid a bunch of money for your companies to come in with the thing of, well, when you guys we'll give you subsidies to come in and build these um, large oil rigs and stuff. After 30 years of use, you turn it over to the Norwegian government and we operate it and we get the profits from it. So it was like a 30-year plan, and now that you guys are at that point, now you guys are exporting, like you said, a lot of oil money. You guys are exporting more than you're consuming, so it's just a huge boon to the economy, and and it ends up funding the Norwegian Commonwealth Fund, is what this YouTube channel called it, which is basically like,
mm,
for us Americans, Social Security. But it's the
Okay.
largest like fund in the world, and it's represents something like 5% of the New York Stock Exchange holdings. It's something just monstrous. It's like trillions of
yeah,
dollars.
yeah. It's crazy. I think there's a website. I don't know the name, but you can see live updates on how much
Oh, that's fascinating.
the the value is. I don't know how accurate it is, but
Yeah.
it's pretty. Yeah, maybe the website doesn't exist anymore. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
But you could just see like it jumped like an insane amount of money in 1 second, and then it dipped an insane amount. Like, you're just like, if I could make that much money, something like
Yeah.
that, and I just like get 1% or something.
Yeah, no kidding. Um, okay.
Near
Sorry.
$2 trillion. Yeah.
There's people
Wow.
who probably like tuned out. I think it's like interesting. I watched a 30-minute YouTube video on it, so I thought it was interesting enough.
Yeah, I think I don't know a lot about Norwegian economy and stuff like that. I probably should, since I work for the government and stuff. But
Yeah. Okay, should we go back to mice?
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
Okay. What else do we have here, Daz? Oh, money and time are no object. What features what would your mouse look like?
uh, my mouse or EloShapes.
Oh, shoot.
Not sure if I understood the question.
That's the I was thinking mouse.
And I was thinking EloShapes.
I agree.
Okay,
EloShapes is more interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
okay, we can do both maybe.
Yeah.
Well, mouse is pretty easy. Just make a Model O minus fingertip edition. I don't know, made of carbon fiber, the best tensor, something like that.
I feel like
Yeah,
Loris has an opportunity. They could just take over if they wanted to. Yeah.
yeah. The second picture there, or the picture below. If you just cut it in half,
Oh yeah.
yeah, just make it like that.
Okay, well, how
Modeling.
about for
So
EloShapes?
for EloShapes, a bit more complicated maybe. I if I had like infinite money, I would probably just buy every single mouse that existed, and I would buy
Hmm.
them like 3D scanner, and that would probably be the first thing I do, just scan every mouse I could find. But I'm also working on mousepad database, so I'm gonna measure like friction and both static and dynamic friction, as well as some other stuff. But the machines for doing so are quite expensive. Again, since I have to import it to Norway, it's I don't know. I have to find a cheaper way to get my hands on one. But if money wasn't an issue, I would buy that immediately. And yeah, I mean, EloShapes would probably become closer and closer to Artings in terms of testing a lot of products. But right now, like mice is my main focus.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that'd
very
be awesome to have like a
respectable.
definitive mousepad database, because right now like a few people like Viscose maintains a spreadsheet, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have it never has all the mice or the mouse pads I want to look at, but I still like
Yeah.
that it's there. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
like 70 mouse pads right now, just sitting in my closet. I haven't even opened them because I'm waiting to find what machines I can use to test them accurately.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna make. I already made like the database on EloShapes and made like the technical structure. So all I need now is a machine that can measure friction, and then maybe a week or two of working on the website, and it'd be available. And then probably more companies would want to send me even more mousepads.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you lean more control of speed or balance as far as like your mouse pads you use?
I'm not. I think maybe a little bit more speed, but I prefer like overall balance. Because I have like shaky hands, so
Me too.
having too much speed is not like optimal. It's fun to play with, but especially for more tactical, like Valorant or something, I have to use more balanced control pads. But
That's
for games like Titanfall, where there's like insane amount of movements, fast pads work pretty great too.
I agree. Yep.
That's wild. So totally agree on the mousepad spreadsheets. I mean, how many spreadsheets are there out there? And they're all different. And like the other thing, it's very skate dependent. So
It is.
we're
Yeah.
potentially going to have small teaser. Matrova, they make mouse pads. They're a Chinese OEM that's been making mouse pads for like 4 years, but now they just released a brand targeting Europe and Western markets. I want to know their take on like all these spreadsheets that are out there because I don't want to call them stupid, but I want to call them inconsistent. You know, and I think
I think.
the best
Sorry,
the
go ahead.
best spreadsheet that I think I saw was one that's in French. So like I'm Google translating all of it as I'm going through it.
Yeah, the goal is to get like I don't remember the certification. There's a certification for measuring friction, though it's mainly for like plastic surfaces.
Yeah,
But it does work with other surfaces too. But if I can get my hands on a machine that can do it very consistently and just do it in like my bedroom where the temperature and humidity is always the same, and then most
yeah,
likely testing with different kinds of like mainstream uh, dot skates or something like that. And then obviously glass skates and other material skates are going to affect friction differently, but it can't be perfect. So I'll have to make information available on my website, like how do I test it? What are the downsides of testing it the way I do?
yeah,
But eventually, with the same machine, I could maybe do friction tests on mouse gates too. So I could test like what does this like hyperglides feel like on a QcK or a Heian or a glass pad, and then do that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's still a bit away. I need to get those machines first, which are expensive.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's an ISO standard, but yeah, the industry really needs to come together. Maybe you can even look at what other companies have done and compare different methodologies and or testing parameters. But I think the important thing is if you're controlling everything on your website and the test conditions on that, then that's a good baseline. Because like you said, even humidity, okay, you tested in a different country and now you're gonna have different results.
Yeah,
But
so it's not going to be perfect. Like, there's no way you could test every possible, like, mouse gate, mouse weight, also affected. How much
mhm,
force do you put on your mouse? What kind of grip do you use?
yeah,
Humidity, temperature. There's so many different variations, and if you just use the mouse pad for a week, it might slow down or speed up a little bit. Same with skates. there's so many variations and different things that affect speed. So my main goal would be to just get a like baseline. Here is like the QcK is a balance pad or slow pad, whatever. Then if you want, you can also view the like specific what's it called, Newton friction coefficient of friction, I think it's called, of every mouse pad. So that would be my primary goal. But
Yeah,
as
I would love that.
yeah, I really want to do that. But yeah, right now the problem is just getting my hands on a machine that could actually achieve that.
Yeah. Quick pause here. Daz, how are you doing on timing?
Seemingly okay right now.
Okay.
Keep rolling.
Just interrupt us. We're just gonna keep going and interrupt us if you gotta go.
Cool.
Okay. My next question. How do you feel about other companies referencing EloShapes? Oh, okay, that link is dead. I'm glad I have a second link. So, for example, on the Indiegogo for the T-Evolution Terra, they have available at eloshapes.com banner here. Was this actually redirects, which is nice. How do you feel about companies doing this? Do you want them to be crediting you? Do you feel like ripped off at all? Do you feel happy that people are acknowledging your existence?
I'm pretty like neutral to it. T-Evolution reached out and asked, can we put outlines and like information from EloShapes on our website? And I was okay with that. And if other companies do it without like asking, it's, I prefer if they ask first, just so I know about it. And it's, would be nice to be credited, but if not, it's not really a big problem. So
Yeah.
don't really have any like strong feelings about it. But T-Evolution was very nice asking and then, redirecting to EloShapes as well.
Yeah,
It's
I
very nice.
think you've
Yeah, I talked to them a bit, and they seem like good people over there. So
Yeah, they're very nice. I've talked to them a lot. They're
yeah,
extremely good people.
like
Very
truly
passionate.
enthusiasts too for
Yeah.
mice.
hmm
That's good. Yeah. I really like that they simply just credit EloShapes and they actually show your GUI and stuff. They've actually edited this too. Like this is not at all what your GUI looks like, but they show all the things it can do. I think that's cool because I know like G Wolves has just like had your outlines and then they'll like change one of the fonts so it doesn't look like EloShapes, but it 100% is. Because I mean, you put a
Yeah.
lot of work into not only the website, but you manually trace each outline, right?
Yeah. So I could talk about like the process. It's a like moderately long process for each mouse, but in general, it's basically using images from producers. Like if you go to Razer's website or something like
Sure.
that, then take top view and side
Dimensions.
view. Yeah, and then I make like an SVG, like a vector image, based on those like top and side views, and then scale them according to product dimensions. And then I have some code that translates and scales that into the outlines on EloShapes. Sounds like it's not like a very complicated process, but it takes a lot of time, especially some information is very hard to find, like find accurate information about dimensions and images. So every mouse takes, the easy ones maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes. The hard ones can take like a half an hour to just get one.
Wow, 5, 6 minutes,
So
that's fast. So these ones, like where they already have it outlined, that's pretty nice because then you can just like erase the rest, leaving the outline. Yeah.
I still have to go into like GIMP or like an image editor because the making the images into an SVG is kind of like a weird process because you're using an algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going from raster to vector. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bit tricky sometimes, but usually, companies send me like good images before the mouse release, and that makes it like super easy for me to
That's cool.
prepare them. Yeah.
Is there any way AI can be part of this workflow in the future? Speed it up.
I hope so. I really hope so. Because right now, sometimes I'm like spending a full day just like I wake up in the weekend sometime and then just make outlines the entire day and then go to sleep. That's like all I do. So if AI could
Oh,
help
dude.
me, that would be nice. But still, I'm like
Yeah.
quite skeptical because AI can be quite inconsistent,
Mhm.
and I want every outline to be as accurate as possible.
Obviously,
So,
yeah. And before we went live here, guys, you were mentioning, so I showed some YouTube videos here that are on EloShapes' page, but these are unlisted. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, simply because you have you're very busy doing all different things, and you don't want to create an expectation that you're going to maintain a YouTube channel when you're already maintaining the EloShapes website.
mm, yeah. So and I also I'm like um, I, I tried video editing. It was very fun making the first two, like,
Yeah,
or how many YouTube videos do I have? 3 or 4. It was fun, but yeah, I noticed that actually making EloShapes better, like working on code, was a lot more enjoyable. And then there's so
yeah,
many good YouTubers, reviewers already that I feel like it's better for me to spend time on the website. Feel like there's more contributions to be made doing
yeah.
that.
I don't disagree. Not saying that you're a bad reviewer. I think your written
Oh no,
reviews are
I get it.
phenomenal, but yeah, it's a saturated space. It's
Mm,
unless you have something unique to say to the discussion, and your unique
mm,
spin is the EloShapes website. So
yeah. I still think it's very important for people to know that, you don't have to be like a big YouTuber or write super complex, long written reviews to contribute. Like any opinion on any mouse is still like super valuable.
yeah, sure.
Posting on Reddit and Twitter, just saying, I like this part of a mouse or something like that. I still think that's very good that other people do that. But for me
Yeah.
personally, I feel like EloShapes is my main way of contributing.
Yeah. I mean, Daz, I mean, your channel has been a new thing. It's only what, like 3-ish months old at this
Yep.
point, and I know I enjoy your takes because you tend to focus on QC and in terms of shape, the hump profile, which is something that I don't. A lot of reviewers, we can read the specs off of a spreadsheet. Also, the mouse tester data that you provide, I think, is again unique and empirical.
Yeah, I've enjoyed using that. I mean, to me, the most important parts of a mouse are click and coding. I already know the
Mm.
shape of a mouse for the most part before I buy it, so I've decided if I'm gonna like enjoy it or not in that way. And then yeah,
Yeah.
does it feel good in my hand? So
Mm.
Yep. Okay. Well, I think. Did you have any other questions, Daz? Oh, yeah,
mm,
the last one here. So we asked what you do for work, um, which is very cool. Software developer for the Norwegian government. The like, what was it? Unemployment and uh,
It's called NAV if you search for just nav.no.
.no. I hope it
yeah,
works.
no, that's an amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Actually, I love that.
And you
Okay.
can select language there, and yeah, that's basically
Cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is very clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
I didn't make this. This was someone else. I do like something else on the website, but yeah,
But I guess
that's the company I work for.
the question. So that's interesting enough. But what do you do outside of mice when you're not spending the whole weekend
Hobbies, I guess.
sketching out
Yeah.
mice?
Well, most of my free time is basically just working on EloShapes, so I don't have and playing video games. But yeah, EloShapes is mostly what I do outside of my main job. But I also work out a decent bit.
Yeah,
But,
I
Love
was.
that.
yeah.
Yeah, Daz, you're pretty. I mean, you have a little home gym and stuff, and I
Yeah,
was
I built
as
one out during COVID. Yeah. I
so
do the best I can with 2 kids.
before the pod we were talking and saying I had the theory, okay? So gamers are stereotyped as being, sweaty, fat, don't care about their health, just want to game all the time, and I do
Mm,
sympathize with wanting to game all the time, but I wonder if people who are into like competitive shooters, gaming r/mouse review, this kind of stuff,
mm,
you think the general gamer population is actually more healthy in some way? Either through being competitive because maybe they played sports growing up, or
mm.
you're trying to perform at your peak, so that means being well both mentally and physically.
Mm. That was actually how I started getting into fitness and running and eating healthy. I'm not
So you
a
could
pro or
click
anything.
heads better.
Yeah, actually, it was during COVID. After finished, like at the end of high school, I started playing. That was when I really got into Titanfall
Yeah.
and Apex, and I wanted to get better. And I started looking at YouTube videos like how do you get better, and a lot of them, especially the really good ones, talk them a lot about sleep and exercise and eating
Hmm.
healthy. And before that, I was not sleeping. I was like, just yeah, I'm tired now. I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up whenever. I never didn't do like any like super big exercise stuff. I played some sports and stuff, karate and tennis and
Okay.
gymnastics growing up. But after high school, I stopped all of that, so I was kind of like lazy, a stereotypical gamer. And then I started eating healthy, running, going to bed the same time every day, and that really improved my performance in game. And that
Hmm.
was actually how I started. So,
That's respectable. Yeah, I even saw a post on m- maybe if it's even a demographic thing, it seems like the r/mouse review community is a little bit older. Like not older, like the demographics on your YouTube videos, Daz. Like what's the biggest age group? 24 to
So
like
it's like
32?
35%, 24 to 35, and then like 35 to 44 is like another 35%. Yeah, it's like 18 to 40
So
is the average.
18-year-olds are not a majority. High schoolers
No,
are.
it leans more towards like 30 to 40, our
So,
age,
so maybe
you and I.
that's part of it. Yeah, maybe that's part of it too then. It's just that you care more about health like the older you get because your body starts falling apart, so you have to.
Yeah. No, yeah, I always notice
um,
that if I work out and then come like do aim training, I perform better right after a workout, which I believe there's a physiological reason for that.
Oh
But
yeah.
mm,
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I started working out because of body image issues, being a scrawny little kid in high school, but
Mm,
I ended up enjoying it. So
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, well, I think sorry, we have our retention video playing as usual for people who
Yeah.
don't just listen. Um,
Mm,
yeah, this gameplay looks cool. I remember when Titanfall 1 came out, people said the campaign was really good too. And
yeah, it's really good.
yeah, I got it
this
on
is
one of
giving me
the
a lot of nostalgia. I
oh
missed the
yeah.
gameplay in this game. It's been so long.
Yeah.
I should try it out again.
Dang.
Remember
Even
playing I played the original beta and I hated it.
oh
The
really?
first time I played it. Yeah, I think it was just movement shooters was so like new to me. And I was playing on console. I was playing like Star Battlefront at the time, so the gameplay was very different. And I did
Mhm.
not like it, so I was like, oh shit, it looked really cool, but I'm never playing this again. And then I don't remember why, but I just bought the game a couple months later, and then I started playing it a lot.
Yeah,
I have a
So,
distinct memory of when I played the beta for this game with a friend in like 2016, I think it was.
mm,
Yeah, it was so much fun.
that's cool. That's a cool game. Like such a cool like
mm,
world building and yeah, then the actual gameplay is like actually pretty dynamic compared to a. I'm not big into tac shooters, so I
mm.
respect this a lot.
Yeah, it seems like every like super fast-paced shooter just kind of dies. I remember Hyperscape. Did you ever play that?
Hyperscape?
I watched it a fair bit, but I never played it myself. Yeah, this was
I
big
played that.
for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I played that so much. I'm so sad that it died because
Mm.
that was so fun. That was probably the most
Oh,
competitive I ever got playing during the like summer beta or something like that. Before the game released, I was top three most wins, I think,
Oh wow.
whoa.
solo wins. I was grinding that game hard. That was during my gap year, so I didn't do anything except play
Yeah.
video games.
Yeah, yeah, this gives me kind of the finals
The
vibes.
finals esque almost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
long
kind of
TTK.
similar. Hmm. I missed the finals too. I mean, that game is still around, so I could play it, but
Yeah.
right now, Marvel Rivals is really fun.
Yeah. And I know Splitgate is another Splitgate
Okay,
the
two is coming.
yeah, Splitgate 2 is
Yeah,
coming. There's an open beta right now. I don't know, there's gameplay on YouTube and stuff.
yeah, I haven't. Is the beta like fully open? Can anyone play it now? Because I got
Not
an
sure.
email, but I don't remember
I
if
don't
that
know.
was. Because I did play the original Splitgate, like quite heavily for maybe 1 or 2 months. 2
Yeah,
months.
same.
May 2025 open beta.
It's too bad that it died
Yeah.
because it's such a cool game. If you guys don't know, Splitgate is basically Halo but with portals. So you got your 2 portals that you can make just like if you've ever played the Portal games. But then it's Halo where you have your basic rifles and then power-ups too. So it's big on like map
Mm.
control like how Halo is and controlling the power weapon spawns, but the portals add such a unique dynamic. Also, you have a jetpack. It's a
Mm.
really good competitive shooter, but it just never took off. It got really big for, like you said, a month or two, and then it just fizzled out.
Yeah, that's how
Splitgate
most
2,
new shooters go. Yeah, it's like the
yeah.
cycle.
Yeah, like X
Mm.
Defiance, the same thing. Like X Defiant, I legitimately liked. It was kind of a take a Call of Duty style tac shooter, but make it longer TTK and a bit more interesting with Overwatch like game modes, escort and such. So I
Mm.
liked X Defiant, but that game Ubisoft has said is end of life at this May, 2 months, taking it
Yeah,
down.
very unfortunate. I'm glad Marvel Rivals is doing good because that game is. Yeah, I'm having so much fun with that game.
Yeah,
It's really
even
good.
uh, DC I heard is coming out with their version at some point.
Are they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
that's funny. Rivals has been a lot of fun. I just haven't had anybody to play with, so I've fallen off recently. But yeah,
It's gonna
it's
be called
revived my
DC
love for the
Champions.
Overwatch style hero shooter.
Yeah, DC Champions. Your tanks are Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, King Shark, Shazam, Doomsday, Atrocious, Lobo, Brainiac. Damage your Duelist, Batman, Vixen, Black Canary, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Deathstroke. Support Cyborg, Dreamer. I don't know a lot of these people. Lex Luthor. Financial support. I guess he he throws money at you. Who knows? I don't know. Uh, all right. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I think that kind of ends the interview, right? Do you have anything else, Daz?
I don't think so.
Uh, where can people find you? Anything you want to plug?
Uh, well, it's pretty much just my website, EloShapes.com, and Twitter. I have a Discord channel too. I'm not super active on my Discord channel. It's mostly just talking about, you know, what I'm working on. But yeah, I mean, EloShapes.com.
Okay.
Use it if you want to compare my.
Okay.
Yeah, we use it 10 plus times a stream. I use it in almost all my videos. So thank
Yeah.
you so much.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your
Uh,
time and coming on, dude. It was a ton of
yeah,
fun.
thank you very, very, very much for having me and asking me to come on.
Yeah.
It was very fun. I haven't
Good.
been on the podcast before, but yeah, I'm glad you. It was really good questions, and I'm not good at making like conversations and stuff, so but it felt very good being here.
Awesome.
Now we're
Yeah.
computer science majors. I get you. Yeah.
I know I'm an engineer, dude. We're all friggin' yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for having me. It was really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you,
on.
Elo.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. See you.
Yep. See ya.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.
Now back to your regular program. Okay, next thing. So we
Prepare to
last
be
talked.
bored.
I know that was such a good interview. I feel like I
I
really
know.
he
I
was
know.
he was so and he was like, "Oh, my English," but then he was
It was great.
absolutely yeah. So we last talked about Angry Meow Mouse from
Meow.
not to be confused with the other Meow Mouse. Let's go on to another release, PMM Kortex. I don't really have a whole lot to say, but PMM, if you guys don't know, does the modded 3D printed things. He collabed with Harpia Labs or Haunterwell. It's a ULX small but cut in half. Uh, it's just a fingertip mouse. Oh, this is cool. I
I
just
mean,
wanted.
fingertippers love the ULX small, so this might be a big hit with them.
Yeah, it's. I literally saw PMM Cortex. He had Cortex? No. Mouse. He had a better pictures. I don't know why I linked like the worst friggin' picture on his thing. Well, whatever. It's literally a Starlight, but then cut. But then it's not just like cut like a crappy mod. It's rounded nicely. So check
Yeah.
it out, I guess. That's all I really have to say. Do we want to you want to go over the Attack Shark R5?
Oh yeah. So this I didn't realize. I was told about this in the comments of my video. And as you may notice, this looks shockingly similar to the IPI float, which is a little disturbing. I'm sure there's some controversy behind that. It's like the same exact click design. Do I have it here? Yeah, I mean, you can see this is the IPI float. It just Attack Shark integrated its little logos on both of the clicks, as you can see there, towards the center by the scroll wheel of M1 and M2. But I mean, this mouse is amazing. I love it. I'm questioning where IPI got the idea for it and design now. I don't know who IPI is. They do have a website, but I did order one of these during the podcast actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
I want to put like mouse tester head to head and comparison and stuff. I think it would be a good video. So
I agree. There are different Nordic. There are different chip, so
yep,
possibly different firmwware. I'm
3950
guessing
versus 3395.
and it's
I
available
went
in
white.
white. Yep.
Yep. This
Differentiate
is
it.
it's 80 on sale for 70 with a 15% off, so it's sub $60. I justified it. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You see the little Attack Shark
That's what I was
logo.
talking about. That's the difference. They just like they dropped the Attack Shark on top of this design here, but again, not sure where it came from first. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's because the IPI float's been out for like 3 or 4
a while.
months. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Which is why it's
3950.
shocking that I was the first review in English, but boards is coming. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So 3950 sensor, guys, 39-gram carbon fiber composite structure, 8K hertz wireless. I know the IPI float comes in a bunch of different polling rate variants for different amounts of money. I thought this was Omron Opticals. I'm wrong. This is Omron 100 million switches.
Mechanicals.
The dongle
No,
is
100 million Omron Opticals is what it says.
Oh, really?
Go back to the description.
Omron. Oh, optical switches. Okay, I am. Oh, okay. Well. Oh, yeah, it does even
Yeah,
say
D2FP.
D2FP. Okay.
Yep.
There we go. Thank you. And their dongle is the same cryogenic chamber looking thing, but it has the Attack Shark fin on it. Yep. Thank you.
And never even took the sticker off mine.
What does
Yeah.
the logo for IPI look like? That's right.
IPI.
Creative. And the shape, it's also the same as the Attack Shark R3, which is magnesium.
Yeah, which is like UX medium-ish, Akitsu-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's also the same as the ATK Fierce X.
Which nobody has talked about ever.
Yep. But these are all the same shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a $90 mouse from ATK, so, and I think people are over magnesium and carbon fiber. I mean, it's actually lighter.
Yeah. I like carbon fiber composite mice. That's fine.
Yeah. Feels very, very sturdy, right?
Someone commented on my like video review of the IPI float. This is not a carbon fiber mouse because I put carbon fiber in my title. It's a composite. And I was like, yep, I said that. I'm not dumb. Thank you.
I do get that nerds wanting to be exact about it because carbon fiber legitimately is like crazy expensive and you can't just injection mold it. Like
Yes.
carbon fiber is literally fibrous. It's woven. So,
But I
you'll-
want clicks. So
Yep. If I can spell with my yeah. Yeah, anyway, chopped carbon fiber is another thing. So you can take carbon fiber weave, chop it, blend it into a polymer. I think this is what a lot of them are doing. Looks friggin' cool though. Like the WLMouse Ying, right? It's chopped carbon. Okay. Do we have time for one more?
No, I gotta jump off for work.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to continue the pod with a few more topics. But yeah, thank you for hopping on, Daz, even with a tight schedule.
Yep, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Wait, can you do the thing?
You want an outro? See ya.
Okay, my guys, it's just me. And there we go. So we're going to continue on with this next one is somewhat interesting. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the new Zywoo's Fenrir and Maxx. Wait, Asym, Maxx? Are they both called the Fenrir? I don't know what to get, says this person in the comments. So we have, we teased these on a previous pod. It's a new fingertip mouse. Let's actually go to EloShapes because he did a good job with the outlines. So he has the new Fenrir Maxx and Fenrir Asym. Okay, so they're both new fingertip mice from the fingertip mouse OG, if you want to call them. I don't know. So let's throw in some other fingertip mice like the HSK Pro. So compared to the, let's change some of these colors here too. We'll do red, and we'll do yellow, and we'll do blue. Sure. So looking at this here, all the same sensor position. So the Asym compared to the HSK, side profile is pretty similar. HSK Pro actually has a taller hump, if you can actually use the hump. And the Asym has the little zoop off to the side and a lower profile. And then the Maxx is actually just bigger. So the Maxx literally just looks like a bigger version of, I'm gonna hide this one. Yeah, so the Maxx literally just looks like a bigger HSK Pro. Now, if we compare it to an HSK Plus, which is actually a different shape, I think that's even bigger. Yeah, way bigger. Okay, so the Fenrir Maxx is just slightly bigger than the original Pro. Then the Asym is like the name implies, it is an asymmetrical. So let's compare it to the HSK Pro. So you have a little is what I called it for your pinky rest. Cool. Side buttons are kind of farther back. I don't know. Maybe that makes sense if that's where you grip it. And 3950, 8K hertz polling, 20.4 grams for the for the Asym, and 22.4 grams for the Maxx. That's insane. That's like ZeroMouse level, but they actually have a shell. Now this shows a full shell. This shows honeycomb. I don't know. Maybe the Maxx is the only one with the full shell. Yeah, this person did a good job actually posting the pictures. Neato. And yeah, they shifted them forward. Yeah, they're I think not cheap. I think they're launching at 139 US. 129 US. And they come in two different colors. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too interested. Even if like one was given to me, I would probably try it out and then sell it because I am not interested. So they have I don't know, is this pre-order sale over? Yes, it's over, ended. You could get it for $100 up until March 10th. Now for the pre-order stage, you can get it for $129 up until April 10th. And then the final price is going to be $159, which is I think what their other mice are. Yep, there's the specs if you want to go take a look. Again, I'm not too interested fingertip mice. I'm glad they're trying something new, innovative, whatever, sure, G-Wolves, but I know they don't really work for me. I'd rather just use like a Final Mouse Small. Another mouse release that's upcoming, the ATK Dragonfly A9. So we have what looks like a classic potato shape. Classic shapes, classic, precise, perfect, coming soon from ATK Gear. Dragonfly A9. I know there's like, this is confusing. There's the M.M.O's A7, which is a GPX clone. Oh my gosh, how many potatoes are enough? M.M.O's A5, A7, AX5, Superlight. Now he does name, to be fair though, he does name like multiples here, like the A5 and A5, AX5 are the same. G Pro Superlight are all the same. But he's right. Another one he forgot off of here is the Pure Track Valor, I think is also. Yeah, there's a lot. I think I commented. Finally a potato with a bug embossed into the bottom shell. I'm so hard. I don't know. I just got that from the Dragonfly name and how Arbiter Akitsu has the Dragonfly in the bottom, and we looked at that butterfly carbon fiber mouse last week. Sure, give me more bugs on the bottom, something to make it interesting. I don't know if ATK is going to do that though. They're usually pretty minimalist. And I think ATK is also supposed to come out with an egg shape at some point too. Okay, another mouse that I'm very excited for. Guys, stop what you're doing and look at this. It is a SteelSeries Prime clone from Darmoshark, 50 grams wireless in a beautiful fade colorway. Oh, baby. This is the Darmoshark N5. I think I made a comment here. Oh, I got one upvote for all my effort. So the Twitter source, this comes from Darmoshark's official, Darmoshark Levy. Well, N7 Maxx, new flagship, Nordic, double 8K hertz wired and wireless. Be there or be square in April. And I think I have so SteelSeries, is it a Prime or Prime Mini? This guy says it's a replica version within 50 grams, so I'm thinking it's a full-size Prime, not a Prime Mini. And this was teased actually a month ago in yellow. I didn't realize they called this the N7 Maxx, but you can't really tell from the side. But now looking at it, yeah, it is kind of SteelSeries Prime. It looks more elongated in the front, but maybe that's just like the clicks coming back farther, whereas the SteelSeries Prime, I actually have one because I did a mod for a guy down in Australia who paid me $150 to mod a Black Ice into wireless. Yeah, you see the clicks look stubbier, but I think that's just these extend back farther. Even the side buttons look rather similar to the normal Prime. Uh, Really nice yellow if this is what it comes out as, but this was announced months ago, 3 months ago. What else? So the translation for the bottom text in this image here, they say peak operation, inheriting the classics, going into a cocoon to become a butterfly. I said, please God, I hope there's another bug on the bottom. And oh, I didn't link it. Oh, that's a bummer. I think I did. That was supposed to link to the bug catcher Pokemon. Yeah, it's supposed to link to one of these guys because they love their bugs. I am really hyped for this. I've been a huge fan of the SteelSeries Prime shape. The Prime Mini I prefer. I have mine painted here. And fun fact, dongle storage when it's a USB-C dongle. But nobody's copied it, and it's like an 80-gram mouse, and I feel bad for the guy in Australia who paid me $100 to do the mod, and then $53 to ship it, because DHL is expensive. I'm hyped. I'm really hyped for this. I don't think I'll buy one at launch, but Darmoshark is usually pretty affordable on AliExpress. AliExpress big sale upcoming next week too, guys. Their anniversary sale starts, I think, Monday or Tuesday. Let's move on to another release. Speaking of AliExpress, the LEOBOG GM3 mouse. So I'm not super interested in this, but sure, we like talking about new releases here. It looks kind of like a GPX and a Viper combination, doesn't it? Let's take a look at these bigger pictures. So 79 yuan is super cheap. I want to say that's like $12 US. LEOBOG, I don't know anything about them, but doesn't it look kind of like it has a little bit of curvature like a Viper, but then the shape it's very rounded in aesthetically? I feel like it might feel more like a Viper and it looks more like a 500 milliamp hour battery, Huano micro open light off. I don't know what that means. I get that. I think that's a translation error. I don't think this is going to be opticals. Looks like transparent blue shell, pink dots. 3311 sensor, a bummer. I was hoping for 3395 just for battery life, if anything. Two versions. There's an SE and non-SE. Again, this is the LEOBOG GM3. So the SE does not get a dock. The GM3, the more expensive one, gets a dock. And it's heavier because you have a dock, so you also get like the charging little nuggets and whatever on the bottom. Can we get a photo of the bottom? Yes, we get the sensor, we get that. That's a good picture there. See, that starts to look like GPX, but the comfort grooves and the side taper here makes me think more like a Viper. Here's a little bit on the bottom. So with you got the split skates because of the charging dock. And I don't know if we're going to get a photo of doesn't that look Viper? Look at that side profile here. That looks very like Viper V3 Pro. And no other pictures of the bottom? I don't know. I appreciate that their black version isn't just a boring black. They give it some white colors, so that's cool. If I had to pick one up, I would... there's no green. There's not enough... The yellow is nice. I think I'd go with the purple. Maybe the blue or the yellow. I think I'd go with the purple. Anyway, check them out. LEOBOG. No idea if they're good or not. Next mouse, another AliExpress find. This is the Kysona M600 version 2. I am super not interested in this, but sure. It looks like it is... So it's the Attack Shark X3 Kysona M600 shape. I don't think there are any differences there. DPI button added to the top shell. Polling rate added to the bottom. No driver needed. Easy to operate. So you get... Yeah, DPI up there. Didn't that always have the DPI? Maybe not. I think I'm wrong. And polling rate button to the bottom, I guess, is nice if you play at elevated polling rates. They're showing their glass skates here. Maybe it comes with their glass skates or this interesting colorway. But I don't know. It's a good like small mouse. If you want like a taller Starlight shape, taller Final Mouse shape, this is pretty decent. It's got good curvature. It's a decent mouse, but nothing a whole lot to say there. Next thing is this is not really a new mouse release, but why has this? This is cool. Okay, micro USB to USB-C conversion. These are cool. These are cool. So you can take your stupid GPX one that still uses micro USB and change it to USB-C. And it sits like flush with the mouse. How cool is that? It looks stock. It looks factory. So they have a bunch of different versions for Vipers, for Basilisk. Um, I don't know if it's magnetic or is it just actually a receptacle. So these look like it's, yeah, this is a receptacle. So you have a male and a female end. Very nice. I don't know where you can buy these, but I don't know, search around for them. I think that's cool, and this should have existed a long time ago. Maybe it did. OP says this mouse part sold only on China Taobao. Aw, this is an product idea that can be used USB-C 5-pin terminal without any additional processing. Cool. So it's just a repin. You're not going to worry about any like signal degradation or anything. And I think that's it for news. So I'm actually going to remember to switch the thumbnail thing or the image to, let's go to Reddit recap. Reddit recap. I this is just when PC Master Race has mouse stuff, we have to include it. Gaming mice be like cheap versus expensive. Very true. This is a Mazda 6 sedan. Very ugly car in my opinion, but this is very true. This reminds me of the new MadCatz. Ooh, I actually posted this. MadCatz M.M.O 7 Plus, and this was a Reddit FCC leak. So this, like that cheap versus expensive car. This is the like expensive car kind of a thing, but it looks like a cheap mouse. It won't be a cheap mouse. Anyway, if you're a MadCatz Rat fan, do I switch the banner back on for news? Because this is kind of news. Whatever. We'll keep it as Reddit recap. MadCat Rat's mice, MMO, I don't know their naming scheme, are kind of legendary. This has a friggin' joystick here, side scrolling here, lots of buttons. I used an Rat 9 for a while because I had to refurb it for a customer, and it had like crazy adjustability, like you could adjust the hump. MadCatz Rat 9 adjustability. And they had a hot swap, infinite battery life, guys, because it had a hot swap battery and had this crazy dock. But it had, you could use these Torx or these screws to change all these different pieces out. It was modular in a way. They had like a weight system to it. They have an aluminum plate. This one also has an aluminum base plate, so it's going to be heavy AF. But internally, this is actually updated. You are getting a that's not the sensor. There's a sensor. You're getting what looks like a 3395. You're getting Kale white swords or white blades, whatever they call them. Yeah, joystick on the side. That's kind of cool. So for the people who are MadCatz fans, I cross-posted this over to r/MadCatz, and it only got like 9 upvotes. But there's gonna be some people who buy it. This apparently was teased at CES 2024, so like over a year ago. And wait, yeah, or not quite a year ago. Well, I don't know when CES happened actually, maybe a little over. So Nito Burrito. Let's go over to, I don't know, doom scrolling? Sure. So the tops for this week, I don't even see this post. This got top post. I get it why they call themselves Endgame Gear now. Yeah, it's a very good shape. It's a very good mouse. I still don't think the clicks are that fantastic, but they do have industry-leading performance. I like this one. This is what we talked about, EloShapes. I think I have a problem. And he has how many mice here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 mice. Bro, I'm looking at like over 100 mice behind me. Oh, man. This was my post. Makes me feel good. It got lots of updates. So apparently Karma, I don't care about Karma, but apparently like some mouse reviewing, if you want samples, you kind of want a lot of Karma. Apparently MCHOS has an 800 Karma limit for reviewers. Another crap post with some furry, woolly mammoth mice. Very cool. Yeah, wasn't this a thing that was in the news recently? They blended, yeah, biotech. Okay, yeah, sure. Uh, Biotech company hoping to revive woolly mammoth creates woolly mouse. I don't really know. This might just be something for the headlines, and it has nothing to do with like woolly mammoth DNA. Um, hope to bring a woolly mammoth back from extinction, genetically engineered woolly mouse. Maybe tiny but colossal biosciences, the company behind the research, made the first step in reviving the mammoth. They showcased them on Tuesday. Research implanted genetically modified embryos into female mice, which gave birth to the first pups in October 2024. So yeah, I have no idea if you guys can go read it if you care. I don't think I do, but it could very well have nothing to do with. It might just be like a CRISPR gene editing thing where they edit the fur gene or whatever, and it has nothing to do with like Jurassic Park DNA found in a mosquito. Okay, and I think, well, let's see what else there is on Reddit because I'm kind of going slow. I actually don't even know how long the podcast is because we've chopped this here and there. We'll go for like another 20 minutes or so. I got some personal ramblings I could probably go through. Let's go back to doom scrolling. So we just go to this here, top mice for the week. And we have magnesium lovers. Any of them here? I don't know. Leave a comment. Do you guys actually like magnesium? Is that a selling point? For me, it just comes down to weight. But if magnesium is only like a couple grams lighter, I'd rather just have plastic. I don't know. Magnesium costs a lot too. All these mice here, looking at 3 mice, you add up all their MSRPs and you're looking at like $600 in mice here. So no thanks. What did the comment say though? I wonder if they're gonna echo what I say. Can't beat magnesium build quality. Okay, sure. Just like carbon fiber though, it's very stiff, which people like. You don't have to deal with side flexing or creaking necessarily. Um, I don't know. I would take a little bit of creaking to save $100, but maybe that's just me. My perfect end game, yeah, the Hitscan Hyperlight. I still haven't tried one, but I know Daz wants to get his hands on one to compare it with the F1. And my beloved Rocket Cone Pure gets a replacement. Yep, the Uranus Pro. Boardsy had a very positive review you guys can check out. He gave this like budget mouse seal of approval, which is surprising for me. I think it's a very good mouse. I don't think it's like that amazing. It is okay. It is very good for like $40, but I know Boardsy is always like the rocket cone shape. It's also very vibrant orange, which is not too common. You usually see more dull, muted oranges. I believe with like more vibrant colors, you have to use more virgin plastic material and you can't use as much recycled material, which legitimately makes brighter colors more expensive to manufacture. 15-gram weight, this feels so rigid. Found my end game. That's crazy. This is the Cam Vinci guy. So this guy has this like crazy precise lab scale. You see it even has like a cover over the scale because he works in a laboratory. He's on the Discord that we're on, which is pretty cool. He's posted some really cool mods. Incoming colorways, which one is your favorite? We talked about this last week. I'm biased because I was the one who posted this. I just absolutely love this. Is amazing product photography, dude. They did it in like all black with a reflective surface, and they somehow had their lighting where it would reflect. That is just so beautiful. Which colorway is your favorite? Let's see what the consensus was. 108 upvotes, not bad. 35 comments if they load. Top comment, pink and blue is wild, looks great. I agree, and the fact that it has like a dinosaur theme is really cool too. So from a distance, you just think it's this neon retro, but up close, it actually has a theme to it. Very cool. And the Paper Rex, right? It's from PRX. Paper Rex is the actual team name. So yeah, Paper Rex, and it's like dinosaurs. That is very cool. What else did we have here? They had the T1, but they had this darker super clear with some red accents, and they had, here we go. They also had a red clear. So the red clear is kind of cool. It might look a little bit too toyish for me. I don't know. I still think I respect that. Red and white I do like. The darker, this one I think I like more. My favorite's still the blue and pink. But this guy, the scroll wheel does say together or something on it. Yeah, this one says something else. I don't know. And I don't know what coating these will have. I really want to pick up the pink and blue one if it has a coating. X2, X2H. I don't think these are the super light, the crazy lights. This guy says PRX variant mogging T1. And I said after consulting Urban Dictionary, I 100% agree. No cap Pulsar cooking for real, for real. So mogging, I had to look this up. I guess it stands Mog stands for male of group. I'm gonna explain the millennial explain this to you guys because my demographics are similar to Daz's. Male of grouping, I guess you're like dominating the others. I thought it was an applicable um, verb for this, so sure. And their Twitter was their source, so I don't. Yeah, sure, cool. I don't think I'm gonna dwell too much on that since we already covered it. And Steelseries is back. Yep, that was cool. We already talked about that. chose A7. Yeah, dude, there's so many GPX clones. I got an early bird deal on an A7 for only like $19 for the Pro with the on-mount optical, so that's cool. Oh, this got 100 upvotes? Really? Okay, well, launched at $150, by the way. Dang, I had like three. I'm cooking. Uh, M75 Air, why was it a flop? Fake 2K hertz, poorly marketed. Corsair Gamers 2 RGB or 120 gram pilled. I said I weirdly love the shape. I love the TTC opticals, even though they're kind of hollow sounding. I have mine modded down to 50 grams, which this is a big mouse, guys. This is a big mouse. So here it is with a ATK X1, which is like a Viper V3. This is a big mouse. The side buttons are like weirdly super flush to the shell too, but you can put grip tape on them and give it some relief. IQ was a pretty big killer. I agree. IQ was bad. HP Ingenuity is the worst. It's not even a program. It's like a Windows Store app, and it's cancerous to your computer. And then Razer Synapse, the older ones are bad, but the newer ones aren't too bad. I tried it. There's nothing amazing. There were reports of fake, bad, higher polling rates. Yep, it was literally just doubling the signal. It wasn't actually providing any new and additional information. Tech Power Up had a really good review, really insightful review on it. I found the mouse to be nice overall. Didn't notice any poor performance. I am looking at a renewed one here for $39. That is true. I don't know. Personally, I'll take renewed with an Amazon return policy any day over spending $30 more for a new one. I mean, whatever. Yeah, my take was this here. Yeah, the skates weren't the best. I put on actually I think these are Pulsar skates, and I like them. Sure. That's just crazy that the mouse launched $150 though. Acid dipped my Aerox 9 here. And then he went and sanded it. I read this one. He went and sanded it to try to because the dipping like melts it. Yeah, Piezogal. Wow, this got a lot of upvotes for being a Piezogal review. I would love to have him on the pod one day too. I think he's British. Devolution Terra, Diamond Lobby reviews. Yeah, he spoke very positively of it. So Diamond Lobby is one of my instant clicks. He does such good quality reviews and he's really humorous. And then I think we're going into some other stuff that we talked about. HSK Plus Lite is interesting. This is HSK Plus Lite. This was on Amazon for, it's $69 right now, which is cheap for a G-Wolves, but they had it 50% off with a coupon code last week, so it was $35. That's pretty incredible. Wireless, he's charging it here. Yeah, it's a bigger fingertip mouse, so I tried it a long time and didn't get used to it. My mouse collection, Model O Pro wireless, these were really cheap this week. I actually picked up a Series 1 Pro because the red and gray colorway is super sleek. Anniversary sale upcoming. Oh yeah, this is worth mentioning. Shoot, I should have had this in the doc. Linus Tech Dev's video on AliExpress mice. So, $20 versus $100 gaming mice. He compares the he compares the MetaPanda P1, P1, the Attack Shark R1, and the Razer Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed. So mad respect, he actually picked three mice that are all identical shapes. Let's go to EloShapes and confirm that I am crazy or not. So we do R1, Attack Shark R1, we do P1, which is the MetaPanda, and we do Hyperspeed. This is Death Adder V3 Hyperspeed, and then we get rid of these other ones. Yeah, guys, that's looking like the same shape to me, huh? Like the MetaPanda and the Attack Shark, I'm pretty sure are like, I don't know, this is actually showing a little bit difference in the top of the outline and the DPI button. Even similar sensor placement. Look at that. The Attack Shark and MetaPanda are the same sensor placement, but then the Death Adder is different. Anyway, So they go through like pretty, it's a licensed tech tips video, so it's a bit more mainstream. They talk about the skates, they talk about like build quality, they talk about weight and stuff. They perform in game with them. The TL didn't too long didn't watch is in-game gameplay. They all feel fine to Linus. Um, there are labs testing results that shows like the Death Adder has like better motion latency and better consistency. That was this graph here. You can see these are a little bit more spread out. And I don't know how this is. Unfortunately, they are using, I believe they're using camera motion for motion latency, which isn't the best because it's kind of a manual approach instead of using like Final Mouse's LDAT or whatever, or XLAT, whatever it's called. So the conclusion is like these are pretty darn good. So I'm glad this is good. This is something that we've always known on the Mouse Review subreddit, but Keychron M7 refresh at $69 going up to 8K hertz polling. Okay. By the way, did you guys know? You guys know why we don't have 16K hertz polling? If not just for battery life. The Pixar 3395 and 3950 sensors have a frame rate of 8,000 frames per second. So mice optical sensors, I'm not an expert here, but they basically take a bunch of pictures of the surface and then they compare them to interpret motion. And yeah, 8,000 FPS. You can't get more information than 8,000 data packets, right? Fenrir and Asym look. Yeah, we already looked at this stuff. We talked about that. Oh yeah, this is interesting. The Ewiaden S9 red frame copying the G Pro, or sorry, the Razer Sentinels edition in that metallic red finish. That is sleek, ain't it? This is on AliExpress. They're not cheap though. So the Ewiaden, if you want like a budget, it's weird. These are like 40-ish dollars for the cheap ones, and then the high-end ones with like 39.50 and the red colorway get upwards of like $70. At that point, dude, at $70, get yourself an ATK X1 that's a lot lighter because these ain't light. These Ewiaden S9s are like 63 grams, okay? So you can get something that's 10 grams lighter with Omron opticals and for like $55. And then at the $40 price range, like let's say you're a budget conscious person, well then you just go and get the Attack Shark X11, which is a Viper V3 shape. It's like not the nicest mouse, but you get a charging dock for like $25. So this is a weird release to me that they're charging so much for it, especially since nobody's heard of Ewiat, and I don't know, maybe they're big on, this is the Billy Billy logo, right? Maybe they're big in China. But I do appreciate them. Oh, they also copied the Maya X purple Ewiaden S9. Let's see if we can see. Um, yep, so Maya X has this beautiful fade colorway, and the Ewiaden S9, if I'm even saying that right, copied it also. Isn't that funny? And then there's the Sentinels version. Ha! All right, the AIM Labs edition, Maya X is very cool too. Gold. I'd probably get the Strider in gold if I had to pick all the colors. It's not my favorite, but it's different, and I respect that. Um, okay, I think we're gonna call it for Reddit recap there, and I guess we can go into last thing is personal ramblings. So for personal ramblings, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as interesting with only me here. I actually do have a game to play next week, hopefully with some people that might be joining us from Matrova. I have here in my notes, like, how's your week been? Work, weather, family events, holidays, celebrations. So weekend plans, I don't think I'm gonna be meeting up with a friend of mine, hopefully this weekend. So it's really early. It's 8:30 a.m. today because EloShapes is in a different time zone, so we had to shift anyway, it was a whole post. I'm meeting up with an old high school friend who I like. You have some friends from high school who I should bring up some sort of retention thing. View YouTube. Sure, we can watch Boardsy's take on the Uranus Pro. So this high school friend of mine, we didn't have a falling out or anything, but we were just different places in life. I went off to college, he stayed at home and kind of worked blue collar jobs and didn't really talk a whole lot. But then you get older and you're like, huh, he was actually a pretty cool guy. I should hang out with him more. And Yeah, sure enough, he went and bought a Miata, which I have a 2002 Miata black with it has a vanity plate that says Phalanges on it too. I got it for super cheap. I got it for like $4,000 back in like 2022 when car prices were insane, and it was cheap because it was hail damaged and it was totaled, um, leaving dents all over it. It was not this bad. This got demolished. Holy smokes, that is some hail. I got it from a super sketchy dealership. I didn't know how to drive stick. I popped up on Craigslist at like 10 p.m. on a Sunday night. I called my boss being like, "Hey, I'm not going to make it to work tomorrow. I'm going to go pick up a car." He had a Pontiac Solstice back in the day. Pontiac Solstice. So he was like, "Dude, I'm living vicariously through you. Go get that convertible." He's like, "I regret selling mine." I got it from a super sketchy dealership that was just a dude with like a junkyard with like a few cars for sale. I got there at like 9 a.m. when the place opened. There was already a dude in front of me before the place even opened who was waiting to test drive it. And then while I was there, two more people got in line behind me. Again, this is some sketch dealership in a not nice town here. And I was like, this is really cheap for a Miata with only 42,000 miles. Stick shift. It's like 120 horsepower, so it's not super fast. Owned by some grandma, though, barely driven. If the only problem is the hail damage, this is a diamond in the rough, especially in 2022. I ended up test driving the car, not knowing how to drive stick because there were so many people interested in the car at the dealership. I shouldn't even call it a dealership. It was just a sketch dude with like a junkyard. I'm not even kidding. He Really interesting thing. One of the cars he showed me was a lightning damaged car that he was like, yeah, you'd never guess it, but the lightning. He was like, do you know where this car is dead? Like everything's fried. It needs a new wiring harness. He was like, can you find what the issue is? And I was like, no. He's like, it was hit by lightning. Find where it was. And on the roof there was a single mark. Nothing like this though. It just looked like a chip in the clear coat. Apparently that's what a lightning strike can look like, and it'll just kill your whole car. Rip. So to save time in the test drive, we went in pairs because it's a two-seater. And he's like, okay, Tim, you're gonna drive out, and then Phalanges, you'll drive back. So we drive out. Tim is this random guy who's also trying to buy the car, and he's like, yeah, I drive fine, blah blah blah. And we get to the parking lot where we're gonna turn around and head back to the junkyard. And Tim's like, all right, here you go. Here's the keys. And I'm like, yeah, that's the thing, Tim. I don't know how to drive stick. And Tim just goes, oh, Jesus Christ. We're going to teach you. He was this older guy who ended up becoming like my friend that day. Really cool guy. Long story short, he did not buy the car. He was like, Phalanges, you should have this. I was just going to buy this for my daughter, but honestly, she's not that interested. He drove the car home for me. I took him out to dinner and gave him a nice dinner and stuff and said thank you and drove him back. He was a really cool guy. Yeah, I still think about him, and I have his phone number, and we've texted a couple times. And yeah, very cool car. So anyway, my friend from high school that I'm meeting up with for hopefully some Indian food because he's vegan and my wife doesn't like Indian food. He also bought a Miata. He bought a 1991 NA Red. So it has the pop-up headlights. He just randomly bought it. His is like high mileage, and he got it for like a really cheap price, and it's kind of beat up. But apparently, I passed him on the road yesterday. Like you see another Miata, you do the wave or the peace, and I waved, and I didn't know who it was, and then he texted me. He's like, "Was that you on that road at 5 p.m.?" And I was like, "Holy crap, that was your red Miata, wasn't it?" So Miata Club, yep. I'm not like a super duper car enthusiast, guys. My winter car is a 2004 Forester XT in like a goldish color. Yep, this is it. Although mine is modified, lowered and stuff. That's my winter car. It's kind of rusty and kind of beat up. It's leaking oil, leaking coolant. But then the Miata's my summer car, and it's funny, it's my reliable car too. It gets like 28 miles per gallon, which isn't amazing given its size, but it's really fun. It's a tight, short shifter. It's yeah, pretty cool little car. So I'm hopefully meeting up with him, and I don't think I have any other. I probably will call the podcast there. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. This was a bit of a different episode. So if you like seeing guests, leave a comment down below who you want to see next. Maybe I don't know if people really care, but I'll try reaching out to people if you guys have shown interest. Subscribe if you want this every other week. Share it with your mouse nerds. It's the best way to get the word out. If you want to submit a discussion topic, leave it in the comments below. We'll be back next Friday, possibly Sunday, because we have Matrova actually joining us. So that episode actually might come out Sunday. Sorry, I will do a post with timing. And how does Daz do it? We'll see ya.